You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
Oh, Canada. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another after show for Monday Night Raw right here on AfterBuzz TV. If you're wondering what this is the dubstep version of Oh, Canada. Pretty epic.
We went through about 20 to choose from.
We did, but this is the best,
yes,
I think, that we found. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley, filling in for Johnny LaQuasto. He is out because he got slapped.
He's still recovering.
Yeah, Rome needs to really lay off.
Hey, I took one too. I'm here.
Well,
Johnny was sunburned though.
He was sunburned.
He was very badly burned.
I feel like he's just one big sunburn.
That's a good way to put it.
It wasn't helping.
It definitely wasn't. Johnny will be back next week, but across the table, joining me tonight, the walking Dale Rutledge.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I brought some aloe vera, but he's not even here.
I know.
Why
So
bother?
thoughtful.
Yeah.
So thoughtful.
Why?
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny.
And sitting next to Dale, Christian.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Well,
I feel like we haven't been on a show together.
I know. We've been like dodging each other or something.
know.
And I was saying the same thing last week with Dale and Johnny.
Yeah. How are your Rose Buddies doing?
The Rose Buddies are fantastic. We just eclipsed 1,500 yesterday.
Yes.
Actually. The garden is growing.
Awesome. Well,
Hashtag join the garden. That's right.
Christian Rosenberg here. Join his garden if you want.
That was very sincere.
Trim them bushes, yo. Trim them bushes.
Whoa.
PG show.
This just got a whole new meaning.
What is a garden?
Yes, but let's talk about Monday Night Raw live from Montreal, Canada, Monday, July 7th. Seemed like we're getting a show that is just, we had the reset button kind of last week, a lot of new things happening.
Yeah.
But this week, it's all, the storylines are just continuing. The Authority, they announced, is on vacation this week, so Steph and Triple H will not be there tonight. Roman Reigns makes his way to the ring looking smug, so smug. And he says, he was very smug.
He did, yeah.
He says, Triple H put me in the Fatal 4-Way at the next pay-per-view because it's best for business. Maybe he thinks I can neutralize Cena, and I can. Maybe he thinks Kane can neutralize me, but he can't. Maybe he thinks Orton will walk away with the belt, but he won't. And then a Cena sucks chant erupts, and Roman says, when Roman Reigns is in the house, damn right Cena sucks. Says he'll be the next WWE World Heavyweight Champ. Believe that. And that is when Kane interrupts. Reigns says, lately it looks like you've been Triple H's lapdog. Wait, let me correct myself. Looks like you're Randy Orton's bitch.
Oh, snap.
What do you guys think of the segment?
This was, I think, Roman Reigns' longest promo he's ever done.
It definitely,
especially
by far.
in ring, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, I thought overall he did well. Obviously, the Canadian crowds, Roman Reigns is the type of guy they love right now.
Oh,
like the young guy on the rise.
Any crowd.
Yeah, but especially in Canada, the Montreal, Toronto crowds. These are the type of crowds that you let Roman Reigns take the extra few minutes on the microphone. And I thought he did well overall.
Yeah, I feel like it could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah.
For sure. And then the crowd stayed energized, and he had some good one-liners. And he didn't take too long.
He did. I really feel like there's we know his potential. He's only going to get better at this. Like, this is his first time doing something that long, but he's only going to get better throughout his career. After he says those fighting words, Reigns and Kane start going at it. Multiple refs have to rush down to the ring to separate them, and then you call them agent. What?
Wait, one of the refs got chokeslammed.
Yeah, one of the refs got chokeslammed. Then Reigns ends up spearing a guy, and Superman punching another.
Yeah,
it's just chaos.
He speared Finley. So our agents, our retired wrestlers, all ran up to try to separate it to no avail.
It was a veritable who's who of old wrestlers.
Finley, Jamie Noble,
Dean Malenko,
Rotunda.
Joey Mercury was out
and
there.
Joey Mercury.
Yeah.
Rotunda, of course, Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt's father.
Oh yeah.
But he couldn't handle Reigns.
Tonight was Rotunda.
Oh.
It was. I mean,
I make that joke every week.
3 out of 3. That's pretty good.
I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was kind of cool to see all those guys out there. I hadn't seen a lot of them in a long time.
Yeah.
Especially on TV.
Yeah.
And but they could not separate the two monsters.
No.
Shocking.
Not shocking.
Apparently the chat roll is going nuts. Now we're requesting for you to slap me tonight since Johnny's not here.
Well. What is best for business? I do not know.
This is like Cathy's like, this is Christmas and my birthday. Rolled into one.
Kathy does aim to please.
Oh, chat roll. You guys know.
Thanks for your violence.
Yeah. Since Johnny's not here, I got to take all the beatings, I guess.
Maybe if he lets me, we'll do that at the end of the show.
Let's see how he acts.
Yes.
See if I behave well.
So the first match that we have of the night, Harper and Rowan versus the Usos, the tag team champs, of course. Lots of near falls during this match. Harper ends up powerbombing either Jimmy or Jay pretty early on, and then Harper clotheslines Jay, covers him for the win. But it turns out that they didn't pin the legal man. I think Jimmy was actually the one who was supposed to be in the ring. It was a little bit confusing towards the end. And then Jimmy ends up yelling at the ref, trying to correct it, but Harper and Rowan walk away. They're the new #1 contenders for the tag titles, I guess, again.
Well, their tattoos made us...
I know, it's so confusing.
Yeah, he covered it up.
Yeah, Jay had his name tattooed on his chest, so it's like, okay, that's how we can tell the two apart. Then he covered up a tattoo with another tattoo of the same one. I never know who's who anymore.
The guys on commentary even mentioned, they're like, oh, well, Jimmy just got, I think that was Jay, I think.
I think all twins should have to tattoo their name on their chest, just to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Or get breast implants. One of the two.
Which one is going to get breast implants? Whichever one wants more attention?
Jimmy's on Total Divas.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not one to make the decision. I'm just saying it should happen.
Well, you should make the decision.
Make it easier for me, please.
But then does one of them have to quit?
I hope not.
Do they get to slap Stephanie?
I was about to say I hope so, and then I was like, no, I shouldn't say that.
Both teams are looking good in this feud.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be tired of it, but I love every moment still. I mean, the crowd was very hot. There was a "This is awesome" chant in the crowd. I mean, it had that corkscrew turn off the top rope from one of the Usos. Looked great. I mean, everything about this had high energy and high impact, and I just love these guys.
Yeah, when the match started, the first thought in my mind was just like, okay, well, these guys have been wrestling each other week in and week out for a while, but then the bell rang, and it was like, oh, wait, every time these guys wrestle is freaking awesome.
They put on a show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you guys rather Goldust and Stardust be somewhere in the contendership?
Not yet.
Okay.
They need to come in soonish, but maybe like SummerSlam or something. I think we can make it through Battleground with this again.
We need the payoff match. We need the gimmick match, whether it's a steel cage, a Texas Tornado match. We need some type of match that's just different than the regular tag teams as the payoff between these two.
Definitely.
Then I'm all for Goldust and Stardust jumping in there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Cool. Backstage, Orton and Kane. Orton says if Reigns had done one more thing, he would have come out to help Kane. Doesn't really seem that sincere. Rollins then comes in and says, with the authority gone tonight, it's more important than ever that we have each other's back. If either of you win the Fatal 4-Way, I'll think twice about cashing in.
Well, that was sweet.
It's very sweet.
Yeah. A good
of
sport.
Rollins, yeah. And then Orton, after Rollins leaves, says, I'm really starting to hate him. and Kane says, "I'm really starting to hate you." A little bit of tension there?
Yeah, just a tad.
Yeah.
Kane and Orton have feuded off and on for the last 10 years. So for Kane to just start hating Orton seems a little odd to me.
Yeah.
I guess he was trying to say he's like tired of helping him, but it wasn't.
Right.
I don't know. It seemed pretty quick.
He's tired of Orton half-assing their, I don't know.
Yeah, the relationship.
Anything.
I don't know. What was that? WrestleMania 28. They had a match.
They're frenemies, essentially.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They're frenemies.
Frenemies.
How's Chat Roll doing?
Chat Roll's doing. I mean, Chat Roll is chanting for violence.
Oh.
Because they really wanted, apparently.
Violence, like in our show?
Like you beating me up.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks,
that makes
Chat Roll.
sense.
You guys are so sweet.
Twitter's like that too.
And they're kind of wondering because JBL at the end of the Wyatt Usos match was wondering, well, they got to be the #1 contenders for sure, and they're all just like, well, wait, who was the #1 contenders before them? Because it was pretty much they had their shot and lost it, but no one else was really #1 contender after
in
them.
between.
It was just a week ago.
Yeah,
True.
But, whatever.
Yeah. Got to give a shout out to, I talked to David McGregor today over at tvandfilmreview.com. We did an interview, and he said the overwhelming number of people in the UK who watch our show and stay up to watch live said it was a huge number. So shout out to everyone in the UK for watching, staying up until 4 a.m. to watch our little show.
Thanks, mate.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
That's all I got.
I was even gonna about to do something like, no, I shouldn't even try. I'm like,
just be disrespectful.
Yeah. Like, but
thank you.
Yeah, I'm not. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching. So, next match we have Nikki Bella versus Alicia Fox, and the Authority made the stipulation. I guess was it? I don't know. On the
their way out
earlier?
or something? I don't know. They left a note.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I think they said on the pre-show.
On the pre-show.
They announced that it's going to be one arm tied behind your back match. Which makes no sense.
No, not really. No. But it was interesting. So, Alicia won't let the ref tie her arm. Nikki already is tied up. And Alicia starts attacking Nikki. Nikki, I have to say, we all thought she was looking damn good.
Yeah, she is.
I don't know what she's doing, but she is looking good.
Keep it up.
The hair, the body, the tan.
Everything
is working. So is Alicia, but Nikki especially tonight.
Yeah, it seemed like tonight was
I am perfectly content with either.
Yes. So Alicia just going all out on Nikki. She ends up taking 2 cans of Red Bull from underneath the ring.
Got all stone cold on her.
Opening them up, shaking them on Nikki, then throwing them into the audience. I think you could see one can, after she throws them up, they go out of frame, and then it just drops back down, and all these fans rush in to get the can of Red Bull.
I want the random Red Bull can that Alicia Fox threw on Raw.
I'm going to sell it on eBay for like $20.
Maybe they were thirsty. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or they were tired and they just needed a little bit of a kick.
Well, how much is Red Bull in Canada?
Probably like $87.
There you go.
Canadian, which is like $3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
maybe they just wanted the 5-cent rebate on the can.
Yeah. Recycle, reuse, rebuy, everyone. Recycle, reuse, rebuy. I like that there's so many diva storylines going on right now.
Yeah.
For sure. It's 4, maybe more.
Well, we got. We'll talk a little later with the AJ and Paige and Cameron Naomi. Now,
Leila and Summer Rae.
And now we have this thing with the Bellas and Stephanie and kind of Alicia in there too.
Whoever
Alicia's kind of Stephanie's hired gun for Nikki.
It's working.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
All of them are pretty interesting. I like that.
Did you guys mention on the show last week how it's just felt different the last couple weeks? Like the writing has felt more solid?
We did. I mean, we were discussing, is it the new writer? I mean, I know they got rid of somebody.
Yeah.
But, we weren't sure if it was just, when you have to make 52 weeks of content, multiple shows.
It's hard to continue a storyline when so many people are getting hurt, but having these little storylines, I feel like makes us more invested in every single person on the roster.
Yeah, and in a situation like this, it definitely helps that division, being that the Divas division, there's only one type of title. So it's not just like, oh, who's #1 contender, and let's forget about everyone else. Now it's like, oh, well, there are all these other intertwining storylines, and then when those resolve, who's going to move up the ladder, who's going to move down the ladder. So it's definitely working well.
We were saying on, or toying with the idea, I know that probably won't ever happen. But if you guys caught NXT this past Thursday, they had a Divas tag match, and then they also, which we'll talk about later, had a Divas tag match tonight.
You think that
so
they could be thinking about a women's tag belt?
Toying with it? I mean, like, it's probably a 0.01% chance of them ever doing that.
They need a lot more divas.
Yeah. I mean, they do have a really big. They have a lot of divas down at NXT.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they had a women's tag title in TNA for.
Yeah.
Still, maybe.
No, they got rid of it a long time ago.
They got rid of it a while ago.
And you know, whenever I hear like the thought of Divas tag title, for me, the only thought that crosses my mind is the cruiserweight tag title that briefly existed at the end of WCW, and that did not work at all. And they had a lot more cruiserweights than WWE has divas.
Well, they brought the cruiserweight over to WWE as well.
The single title, not the tag title.
Oh, a tag cruiserweight
tag titles.
Right.
Yeah.
It might not be a deep enough roster. I don't know.
No.
So, Lana and Rusev in the ring. Lana, of course, starts talking about Putin again.
She always Putin.
And RVD interrupts. So we get the Rusev versus RVD match. Zeb cuts in during the match and challenges Rusev to face Swagger at Battleground. And then Rusev ends up being victorious with the accolade. What do you guys think?
I think it was his longest match.
You think? What was it, like?
It was about 5 minutes.
I was gonna say like four and a half.
I'm
maybe.
not sure comparing it to like his pay-per-view match with Big E a few weeks ago, but they're probably about
the same. It was
the
definitely
same.
longer for him.
Yeah. And actually, someone in our chat roll brought up a good point a few minutes ago. It's actually HW View who mentioned that Swagger might have not been allowed in the country because he still has that DUI issue. So that's probably why we didn't see him tonight, which makes sense that we only had a little video thing of Zeb.
Oh, Swaggy.
Oh, swags. But Rusev continued to look dominant. I'm waiting. You know they got to be setting up to have a Putin impersonator on one episode of Raw at some point.
When?
At some point. When Rusev is towards the main event, they'll have they have like the president. Like they'll have him somehow.
Or it'll just be Sandow.
Or just be Sandow just as Putin.
How long have we been saying, though, that they need to have Rusev versus Swagger, and we're finally getting it?
Yeah, and surprising that Swagger is, I mean, at least last week got such a huge response as basically a face turn, sort of. I mean, I don't know fully, but at least for this feud.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see how the crowd is when Swagger is allowed back in whatever country they happen to be in.
Well, I'm just interested to see, when that feud is over, is it just going to be immediate flip the switch and Swagger's a heel again?
Yeah, I wonder.
Or if they're going to actually try this out.
How would they do? I just don't know that they could have him be a face with the gimmick that they have going on because, I mean, WWE is a worldwide brand.
Yeah.
The USA only accounts for a small portion of their viewership, and you can't have someone who's patriotic and whatever. And I don't know. I don't know if it would work out.
Yeah, they would have to attune what that gimmick was, what We the People is. But I think it's easy to attune it to a more or a less offensive.
We were wrong. We the people. We misinterpreted the Constitution.
we the people is not just for Americans; it's for the WWE universe.
Yeah.
WWE the people.
Yeah.
Either way, it was nice to see Rusev in a longer match. I think he held his own. It wasn't. Sometimes those bigger guys can be a little sluggish. I think he was moving pretty well. When RVD is your person in the ring with you, it's hard to keep up sometimes, and he kept it pretty well.
And you need a fast guy to roll out of the way in the middle of a rolling thunder. And Rusev, the 300-pounder, did it.
Yeah.
So that was impressive in itself to then hop right back up and hit his kick.
Yeah. So next match, we have Orton versus Dean Ambrose. And this match got super aggressive. At one point towards the end, Ambrose ended up throwing all these chairs into the ring, but Orton ends up winning with the RKO. Were there any highlights from this match that you guys thought stood out?
Ambrose busted out a figure 4.
Yeah.
Which really surprised me. And I was kind of confused. JBL mentioned, the Hitman is here. This is kind of a tribute to him. JBL Hitman does the sharpshooter.
He just got excited.
It is a leg submission hold, but there are many different ones.
You can't always be on.
Flair's not there.
And Flair's not there.
Maybe it was for The Miz.
Maybe it was a tribute
to The Miz, who will be on the show later.
Absolutely. You know, Ambrose is having a lot of fun. I mean, you can definitely tell that in his ring work and in his promos and everything about him. So it's just nice to see him out there. I was a little surprised that he got pinned. I don't know. It just seemed weird momentum.
It was
for him.
Out of nowhere, if you will.
I see what you did there. I didn't expect a clean pin.
Yeah.
I didn't expect a clean pin.
I thought maybe Rollins would come out and do a little
something
distraction, or I don't know. I was just surprised the way it turned out. I mean,
but Ambrose, I kind of touched on a little bit last week. Since the Shield broke up, Ambrose has truly showed that infamous it factor that you hear that, like, you know, superstars really need to truly elevate.
Yeah.
And dear God, he has it. I mean, anything this guy does, just his walk is just, it captivates
He's committed.
you.
I noticed tonight, especially when he was down, like I think it was outside the ring, he was down, and I think that's when, I don't know, Orton was just starting to like work on him and get the upper hand, and his tongue, like he's on the ground and his tongue is just like flailing in the middle of his mouth. I was like, that's just a small little touch to his character, but those kind of things make such a difference.
Yeah, the tongue, just like the tilt of the head.
He sells everything.
But and again, to have a guy who is kind of like the craziness of how Brian Pillman was in his WWE run, yet is so over in a positive way with the crowd. It's just more props to him for getting the psycho violent guy over as a good guy.
I always equate him to the Joker without face paint.
That's a good one too.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Only thing I wish is his ring attire. I don't know why he's in a tank top.
He's a greaser.
I mean, okay, he's not in Greece though. Like he could still, I don't know. There's some version of that. If he gets it dirty,
he can join the Wyatts.
Yeah.
He's just missing the cowboy hat, and we got the white Jimmy Wang Yang.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's like the one.
Almost a twin.
But again, at the same time, as weird as the attire is, for him it almost works. Because he's like, I'm just going to go out there and fight. I don't care if I'm in just my jeans.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's just supposed to be a brawler.
Yeah.
Just feels a little weird. That's all.
Yeah.
The other two have pretty cool ring attire. I feel like
the other two members, former members of
the ex-Shielders.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Rollins' new space leather suit.
Yeah.
And then
cool.
Reigns is pretty much the same gear as before.
I mean,
it's a little different. It's got more cargo pockets.
He kept most stuff. So
yeah. But yeah, that Orton Ambrose match, I loved that match. That was my favorite match of the night.
What was that, like 18 minutes maybe?
Probably close to it, somewhere between 15 and 20.
Yeah. Definitely, I mean, by far one of the longer matches, if not the longest match of the night, excluding the main event. But backstage, Renee is with Cena and Roman, and they are talking about the main event. Cena says he's the biggest target in the WWE right now because he is the world heavyweight champion. And then Reigns interrupts, wishes Cena luck tonight. Cena says he doesn't need luck, and Reigns says, well, he's going to need luck when they face each other in the Fatal 4-Way.
Holmes. What?
Tough.
The yard was stomped on. When he got brought home, he brought a street again. He brought the thugonomics back.
He brought a little bit.
You guys gave me a weird look there.
Well,
if Johnny was here, he would have agreed with
me. We always give you weird looks.
That's true. That's a fair point.
No different than any other time.
This true.
Overall, a great night for Reigns, though. I feel like this was kind of his episode. I mean, kind of his show.
All of them. I mean, we've talked about how the Shield is the next generation, and it's here.
Yeah.
They're here.
It's now.
They're ready, yeah. And you kind of had that feeling, again, kind of going back to that Ambrose match, you kind of had that feeling of, all right, this is going to be the guy that's going to be kind of like the next Orton, you know, when that time comes.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And again, looking at Reigns and Cena, you just have that weird vibe with it.
Dean the Viper Ambrose.
He might have a different nickname.
Oh. Oh, that's not
Not
what
a
I meant.
literal next version. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's not going to suddenly come out to Orton's music.
He's
or
got the
anything.
tongue though, like the.
Like the Viper.
He might
Yeah.
hear voices.
You like
but-
bringing up his tongue.
Uh-oh. It's true. It is a couple
The
of
chat
times
world mentioned
now,
it too.
I mean.
That's all I'm saying.
Nah,
No. No.
no,
Are you
doesn't do
are
it for me.
You're not an Ambrose?
He's a great wrestler, but yeah, not an Ambrose.
Not an Ambrose.
So, moving on. Alberto Del Rio versus Ziggler. The winner of this match gets a U.S. title shot against Sheamus on Main Event this week. Fandango is on commentary and announces that he'll be in the IC title battle royal at Battleground. He also says, while he's on commentary, that Leila isn't back. Either, what was it, primping or crimping his hair? We were fighting, Christian and I were fighting over what he actually said.
We had a very fierce argument over
Yeah,
this.
we even had the closed captioning on, and it did not pick up whichever one it was.
I think it said pimping, and we knew that wasn't right.
Pimping her hair.
Closed caption is not the best, by the way.
Ugh. I don't even know what that is.
Never seen a primping argument, by the way. That was my first witnessing of a
How was it?
crimp versus primp.
Yeah.
How'd you feel it went?
Felt very West
Who
Coast.
had the upper hand?
If you're crimping, you're still primping.
Yeah.
But if you're primping, you're not necessarily crimping.
Crimping is very specific.
Yeah, very 80s.
Yeah. I would have to say he said primping.
Okay.
Going primping.
Well, yeah, she didn't look like she had crimped
She
hair.
ain't going
at the
crimp
end.
nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
He watched a lot of rock videos on the WWE Network apparently because he was talking to the third person a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else did you mention he sounded like?
Oh, it was like the debut of Goldust as far as how it was just so quiet.
He was very quiet.
But it didn't pull it off too well.
Don't understand Fandango. I think he's-
Anymore.
yeah.
I really liked him. Something about tonight was a little bit weird.
Yeah. I don't know if he's trying to get more in depth, but he's kind of losing what it actually means to me. I don't know. There's something about it that feels very forced right now.
Okay.
And all that gyrating on the table was just awkward. So it just wasn't. It wasn't what like a dancer would do.
He needs a partner.
Yeah. It just felt weird.
Yeah.
Well, apparently his gyrating was enough to distract Ziggler.
I know.
Well, because
What's up with that?
Ziggler usually is the one gyrating, and I feel like Fandango is just showing him up.
Stealing the show.
Yes, he was. So Fandango climbs on the table, starts dancing. Ziggler gets distracted and
Hip-stracted, maybe.
yeah, hip-stracted. Del Rio capitalizes on this for the win.
And the camera missed the kick.
Yeah, well, we got it on the replay.
We got it on the replay,
Well,
but
yeah.
Still.
everyone was looking at them hips.
Yeah. Even the cameraman.
Even the
Yeah.
camera be creeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys know how I feel about ADR. I don't know if I've told you, but he's not my favorite. But I just don't think that this is, even if him chasing the title is what they got right now, they just need to really focus on his character of what ADR. If they want him to be a top player, what is he doing?
You make him a top player by making him your general manager. That's what you do. They don't they don't have a general manager right now, and
be a good role for
Authority
him.
loves him.
Yeah, he talks really well.
He talks really well. He's the high class guy who then can still go out and wrestle like Regal when he was commissioner.
And I do think he is better in suits and being that pompous sort of. I don't know. He just doesn't have any gas in the tank right now.
But with this win, he will take on Sheamus for the 9 billionth time on Main Event this week.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe closer to 10 billionth, but
Yeah.
who's
Are we
counting?
pushing that?
Who's counting anymore? Next segment, we have Stardust and Goldust. Goldust says, where we're going, we don't need roads. And then not really sure what else they said in this. I was mesmerized by it, but I don't know what happened.
Dale, can you read my notes that I wrote for the Stardust Goldust segment?
Huh?
That was my notes.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, what is going on right now?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it, but what is happening?
I don't know how Thanksgiving works at their house, but I bet it's a real word.
I'm feeling Dusty eats all the turkey.
I do love these two. I agree. I didn't really know what this was about or who they were talking about. Just each other, I guess. Just kind of reminding you that they're there, but I didn't know what was going on.
Like, are they trying to one up who's weirder now?
Yeah.
They saw Fandango out there and they're like, oh, we got this. Yeah, you want to see weird Fandango?
Roll the camera. Let's do this.
I'm going to talk to his wig. What?
I'm still trying to come up with a joke about starches or Thanksgiving.
We'll go back to you.
Okay.
We'll, we'll check in with you later.
Thanksgiving is pretty far off, so we can revisit
I'm
it.
really excited about that slap, though. Not to keep bringing it up. But...
Slap's got you all distracted.
So
women slapping me, nothing new.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like every Friday night.
With Corey on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I meant your dating life, but yeah, also SmackDown.
Oh man. Backstage.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Speaking of dating life, backstage,
Yes.
Fandango and Leila. Leila asks if Fandango is jealous that Ziggler kissed Summer Rae, and she doesn't know what she would do if he still cared about Summer. And then he embraces Leila, hugs her, kisses her on the head, and then looks over her head to see Summer
Across the street at like a street light or something.
Yeah, she was like in the hallway, all lit up, and doing some like.
Oh.
I don't even know what that was.
It was like, how you
It
doing
was like
tonight?
kind of sexy, but like also
Trampy?
sure. I'll go with that word.
I don't know. Well, no, just kind of like the pose. You know, that's kind of like, hey, why don't you come over here? Let's talk some more.
Yeah.
It's just like what?
I don't know where this is. What?
I thought Summer Rae was turning face in this.
Yeah, and is there a lesson in here? Not that you have to have a lesson, but
Well, it's PG. We should have some type of lesson.
All
a bit-
Fandangos are cheaters.
I
guess so.
All male ballroom dancers. I mean, guys on Dance with the Stars got to be pissed at this storyline.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very odd. It makes Leila look weird. It makes Summer Rae. No one's coming out of this looking cooler or better.
I like the whole like dumping milk on each other thing, the cat fights.
Yeah.
So I think that that's just prolonging this, because how long can one girl be upset about just being dumped and the guy saying, oh no, I chose her and I'm gonna stick with her.
Right.
But when you have this back and forth where you're not really sure.
And Fandango loves triangles, so maybe that's where this is
Apparently.
going. Yeah, I don't know. It's his words.
Yep.
just a quote, Kathy. Just a quote.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember. A few years ago, right before Fandango debut, when it was still Johnny Curtis on the NXT thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember the character they gave him?
I have a chip on my shoulder.
No, not that one.
Oh, not that one.
That was before this. Then they kind of turned him into honestly like a perv. They turned him into like a peeping
Is he
Tom.
not that now?
Well, it's almost
Maybe
Different kind of perv?
Is that
It's a
where this
different
was
one.
born? Maybe?
Dirty Curdy?
Maybe, yeah, it's kind of. That might have been what they called him. I don't remember.
Huh.
But it was just like he was like trying to like spy on the girls. It was really uncomfortable.
I don't remember that. I must have blocked it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. and now I almost feel like it's like don't go back to that. Like, do something with the Fandango gimmick. Let's understand it more, like you were saying earlier. Don't put hints of that terrible, terrible, terrible thing he did on NXT way back. Before it was down in Florida. This was, like, exclusively WWE.com stuff.
I think he just needs to figure out what Fandango is or who Fandango is.
I mean, I feel like Fandango wouldn't be... Like, he would have a girlfriend, but he would also be like, well, all girls love me. And he would more play to everyone as opposed to just the two of them.
Yeah. Maybe they can expand after this.
Yeah.
And he'll decide on one girl, and then suddenly there's another new diva that he's interested in.
Or they'll suddenly just bring another girl up and be like, oh, this is my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or his other girlfriend. Maybe he has a whole another family or something.
Yeah, they just show up to Raw one week.
And then we have a tag team division.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So Lawler is in the ring, and he has a very heartfelt moment. He's talking about how he never thought he would be back in Montreal at that arena because of his health issues. Of course, last time he was there is when he had his heart attack, and he's said that he's so grateful to, be back and for everything, that Montreal, like the hospital there that helped him, and just had some really kind words. He then intros Bret Hart. Bret comes out and says that if he could have one more match, it would be right there in Montreal. Hart's music plays again, and Sandow comes to the ring dressed as Bret Hart in what, like 1997 version of Bret Hart.
Sounds about right.
Starts mocking him. It says one regret of his was being from a third world country like Canada. Boo. But his biggest regret is never being in the same ring as the great Damien Sandow. Hart then clocks Sandow in the face.
And knocks him out. Bret Hart was on fire tonight. Like, I don't remember seeing this much energy out of him in his promo
it's been a minute.
Seems like he might have came back to WWE.
Yeah, maybe during that feud with Vince at WrestleMania 26. But yeah, I did like that he said, Sandow said, talking is not your strong suit, and then he was like, no, fighting is, or punching is.
Punching is.
Knocked him right there. But yeah, he did have some spunk going on tonight. He had definitely, because even when they did that tag team, I'm sorry, the women's title in NXT, he was a bit like, he showed up in like, his loose clothes and just wasn't really into it. Like Ric Flair was like crying on the other side for Charlotte.
Yeah.
And then for Natty,
like,
Bret was like, yeah, I'm here, so.
I'm just reading chat roll right now, and Lake85 said, less yap, more slap. In case you were wondering.
Whoa.
Johnny, the things I do for you, my friend.
Yeah. Taking one for the team.
Yeah. Cathy's like, the greatest day.
So, what do you guys think of the segment overall? You liked it? Happy that Bret's there?
I mean, it was cool he was there.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what they were going to do with him tonight. I mean, I guess you can do the little thing with Sandow and the crowd enjoy it. I was almost thinking of Bret cutting the promo and then suddenly interrupted by the Wyatts.
Oh.
And then Jericho could have made the save for Bret.
Okay.
Because, Bret, I'll talk about
all Canadians stick together. Is that what you were trying to say?
Well, the hero, well, Jericho and Bret are buddies.
Yeah.
But, like, Bret talking about, like, the heroes and things like that. Well, here's Canada's greatest hero. And let's destroy him. But
yeah, I could see that.
But I mean, it was a comical moment. We got Sandow TV time again.
Yes.
So that's important.
Yeah.
I want to know what he's gonna do next. I
want him to win that battle royal so badly. It's never going to happen.
I don't think so. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. Again, you don't know how to feel about it because you think he's being punished, at least earlier when this gimmick started. And now it's almost like...
If he was being punished, then he wouldn't be on TV.
Exactly, yeah. But now he just owned it for week after week. Maybe they're just like, yeah, let's keep giving him stuff.
It doesn't make sense to me, though, going from the smart Sandow who says that everyone's so beneath him to the... I don't know.
It's definitely not his old gimmick.
It's memorable for sure. I'm not saying that it's bad by any means. It's just the transition for me was a little weird.
Yeah, it's almost like he's trying with his character to try to, quote unquote, dumb it down to get more of a response from the fans. It's kind of like what his argument almost sounds like, and it's just caused him to lose left and right. Yeah. But he doesn't need to do that. I want the bathrobe back.
Yeah.
I mean, but he got to wrestle Sheamus after
I was going to say,
so.
After he got clocked in the face, he got rewarded with a match. Yeah. So Sheamus versus Sandow. Match ends up starting on the app while we were on commercial break.
Starting on the app is much better than ending on the app.
Yeah, we had that last week.
I did not enjoy that last week.
Yeah. So Sheamus wins with a brogue kick, has a match with his title on the line tomorrow against Alberto Del Rio.
But now, during this match, Michael announces that both of these superstars are in the Intercontinental title Battle Royal at Battleground. Why is the United States champion in the Intercontinental title Battle Royal?
Yeah.
Unless they plan on unifying the titles.
Or he loses tomorrow.
Well, Del Rio's in the Battle Royal too.
Oh, well.
So, either way, unless you plan on unifying the titles, then that title should be separate and be defended.
Two titles.
Or we can have like 3 guys with 2 titles each. All right.
Is that different though from Sheamus being in the ladder match at the pay-per-view?
I think it is. The reason being that was for the top prize. While this one, people make the argument of which one is considered higher, the Intercontinental or the United States. They kind of go back and forth.
I don't know if they even know.
Well, clearly, if Sheamus is in that Battle Royal, they're making the case that the Intercontinental is higher.
I mean, it does have more history to it, right?
Yes.
So I guess in my head, the IC has always been a little higher.
I agree.
But, I mean, they're supposed to be even keel, I presume.
Like, I always kind of treated the U.S. title like the European title.
Oh, see, I don't think it's that.
That's how I kind of took it. It's like it's the third string title. Which then when Sheamus won, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
What?
no, I thought it was kind of the same. Or they want you to think it's the same, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. Backstage, Renee there with The Miz.
Congrats to Renee, by the way.
Oh,
Getting on
yeah.
the
We should talk
commentary.
about
Yeah.
Renee. She is the first female color commentator in years. What, a decade? Over a decade?
Yep.
Huge congrats to her, and so well deserved.
Yeah.
She's incredible. And
She's definitely, you could talk about watching somebody grow.
Oh,
you have seen
yeah.
her grow in not that
in
much
just
time.
such a short time.
Yeah.
I think she's only been with the company for maybe 2 years.
Yeah, maybe around there.
About it.
Yeah.
Watching her grow as the interviewer to announcer is like watching Cathy grow here with the wrestling knowledge and everything.
Yeah.
I was giving you a
Cathy.
compliment, and you're looking at me like, what are you
Thanks.
doing?
I'm confused. I
I'm
was like,
saying-
why are you giving me a compliment? I'll take it.
Because you know,
She's still slapping you, so don't try to get
How do
cute.
you never get hit? That's what I want to know. How do you always avoid getting beat up?
His face is too pretty, and we don't want to have to call a what was it?
Facial surgeon?
reconstructive surgeon.
This is my moneymaker, Christian. My moneymaker.
Just trying to tie it all back in.
Clearly, I make no money from mine, apparently.
You can't hit a guy with glasses.
Oh, now we go to that.
You got a face for radio, kid.
Oh, thanks.
I kid. You do have a voice.
Oh, thank you.
The voice of choice. Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, you got it. You had it.
Cool.
How many monikers you got?
I kind of stopped doing that one a little while ago, but I don't mind it coming back.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So, Renee and The Miz backstage. He reads a letter from a fan because he's, a huge movie star. Little Johnny Russo
Love this.
asks The Miz to put Jericho in his place. And The Miz says he's ready to give Jericho a close-up. The close-up is his fist.
I tell you what, the acting's really paying off. Because
What?
that promo, I felt convinced.
It was good.
It was. I
like that
enjoyed
Miz.
it.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
I'm liking this Miz
He's
already.
been working with an acting coach.
Clearly.
I mean, not that he was bad before, but yeah.
Yeah. And it came
see
off,
it's
I
paying
like,
off.
if he reads a letter that is like towards whatever opponent each time, I think that's a
It was
good gimmick
funny,
in itself.
yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, it was well written.
Yeah. Even if in the end it's like, oh, well, he wrote them all.
I mean, yeah, obviously. Why are these all in the same handwriting?
I was just going to say, Renee's got to be like, I have the one from last week, and it seems to be the same exact handwriter from this one.
Yeah. So Chris Jericho versus The Miz is the next match. I mean, we've seen this pairing before, but
Yeah.
I'm liking it again.
Well, yeah, and it's really interesting to see, because a lot of times when someone makes a return, they always worried about, is there going to be quote-unquote ring rust? Obviously, with a guy like Jericho, we know that's never the case.
Yeah.
But we don't normally have two guys facing each other that have both been gone for months
Yeah.
and just return at the same time.
Yeah.
And that just, it shows, obviously we know Jericho, but it shows The Miz too. Like, he can just go right back in and compete with anybody.
Yeah. Well, The Miz has been gone for a shorter period of time. I think he's
Yeah,
only
about
been like
4
3 months.
3 to 4 months, but I mean,
Maybe.
still, that's
Yeah.
still a decent length away.
Yeah. So Jericho ends up winning this match with the Walls of Jericho, which is another thing we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah. He hasn't won on it in a long time, as far as I can recall.
Yeah.
Mostly the code breaker.
Yeah, and I felt like I was going to have a Ryan Klum moment because all of a sudden, like, there's a second figure 4 of the night. Why are they repeating
But
moves?
that's because
But it's Miz's
Miz,
move.
yeah.
I know, but I was just like,
Even though with Charlotte and developmental now, I feel like they should let her have it.
I
and-
agree.
Yeah. Didn't she win the women's title on that figure 4? I don't remember.
No, I don't think she won with the figure 4, but she uses it.
She did use it. Yeah.
She's the bow to the down to the queen. Is that the name of her move?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Battle of the Queen. Post match, the Wyatt Bray Wyatt gets on the mic in his rocking chair, and he says, I will never, ever let Jericho, or what was it? Yeah, I will never, ever let Jericho forget these people who used to be Jerichoholics. Now they sing a different tune. So Jericho then tells Bray to shut the hell up.
Be quiet, Wyatt.
And then he was going to come up the ramp and beat his ass, but opts not to when Rowan and Harper show up to Wyatt's side.
Don't blame him.
Is this not when the Usos are going to run out and keep saving Jericho for the next month, like they did for Cena and for Sheamus?
I wonder.
Is it going to be for Jericho now?
I don't know. It'd be okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that pairing now.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad, you guys said you liked The Miz. I'm glad both of them are back. I think they both add so much to the roster. And, this particular match was a little slow on the pacing for my liking. But overall, again, I agree, no real ring rust. Maybe just could have picked up the pace a little bit for me.
Yeah, I guess my only disappointment in this is I didn't want there to be a clear winner. Me neither. Both of them with the returns.
Yeah. I mean, this is sort of like Ambrose earlier. I feel like, especially when you have these guys that could be on a roll, there's no reason to, and they already have feuds set up that aren't each other. Why not just have somebody ruin it? Yeah. I don't know. It seems weird to have people lose clean.
Especially when they're feuding with other people. In that case, you could have the Wyatts interfere with that or something. I don't know.
Although I guess we don't know where Miz is going.
No.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going on with him right now because clearly it's Jericho and Wyatt, so we don't know what Miz is going to do. I just hope it's not going to suddenly turn into a Sandow-esque thing where all of a sudden he's come back with all the big-time hotshot and then lose week and week and week and week.
But they love Miz.
Yeah.
They do.
Because he's expanding their brand and he's bringing in, those viewers who are watching his movies then become fans of his and end up watching WWE if they're not already watching it. So
I think,
it makes sense to have a guy like,
He's good on the talk shows and stuff like that, too. So I think they'll figure out something. I just hope it's not like, I don't know, he should be elevated at this point. I like that he's talking about getting back to that WrestleMania moment because he doesn't remember his first WrestleMania moment.
Do you remember?
He had a concussion.
Maybe a year ago. Maybe a year ago when Wade Barrett had he was in like a Colin Farrell movie and he had a small part. And they were talking about how he was the big movie star. I kind of like, I like that, but I like what they're doing with Miz a little bit more.
Yeah. The fact that he isn't a movie. I mean, that movie actually came out in theaters that Wade Barrett was in.
It actually had, like Colin Farrell, actually had like some names in it.
Yeah, Terrence Howard was in it.
I think it was funny because the one promo that they used on Raw, Barrett, I don't even think he was in.
Yeah.
Or he was in for a split second and he maybe was clean shaven so you couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah.
Where was he tonight?
Who?
Barrett.
He's hurt.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
You didn't know that?
Oh, yeah. Right before the pay-per-view, his shoulder got separated.
Separated shoulder thanks to Swagger.
Oh, I did hear that, yeah.
That's why we got the Battle Royal for the title. He had to vacate it. He's out for months.
I did hear that, yeah.
6 months, maybe more.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know, another injury.
Oh.
Don't like talking about it.
Yeah, let's not talk about it anymore. Divas tag match.
Let's talk about this.
Paige and AJ versus Naomi and Cameron. What do you guys think of Paige and AJ working together right after?
I've got some bad news.
Yes.
Oh, is that too late? I don't understand.
Delayed Barrett. Delayed news Barrett.
Yes.
DNB.
That's my new gimmick. I don't know what's going on. I mean, yes, I know on SmackDown that Paige raised AJ's hand. Good for her, whatever. Yeah. But I'm hoping this is like a ploy to lure her in close and then take the title. I don't know. I want this to be a heel turn for Paige. Otherwise, I don't know what it is about Paige's smile, but it looks like it hurts her a lot. Like it doesn't come off. I just want her to be a heel real bad.
Yeah.
I wish that they would. I'm hoping this is where this is going. Right now, I'm just confused.
It's Mickie James and Trish Stratus.
It is Mickie. Well, at least that was
a PG version. She's not going to start dressing up like AJ.
Yeah,
that would be kind of weird.
Well, lesbian appeal was happening there at least, but I don't know what's going on right now.
But Paige talking the true champion, the greatest champion. She's going to start turning to biggest fan. I'm going to support you, and I think that's all just going to be luring in for that real heel turn in. And these guys could put on some awesome matches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for them to get 15 plus at SummerSlam. Because they can do it if they give them the time.
They should. I mean, that's 2 pay-per-views from now.
Yeah.
We should be able to build it nicely to that.
By then.
It's interesting to have Cameron and Naomi going through their weirdness, and AJ and Paige going through kind of the inverse weirdness.
Meanwhile,
when
on
they
the other
should
side
be
of
the
the
one,
ring,
so Cameron ends up putting on lip gloss mid-match.
that was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
That was the best thing I think Cameron's ever done.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
And ends up losing the match. Paige ends up winning with a page turner. Paige excited with AJ after, and what were you going to say,
I was going to say, so Cameron, avoiding the tags, then eventually tags herself in, nowhere near her corner.
No.
Like, she's like all the way on the...
Yeah.
Because like they have those little... the little tag ropes that you have to hold on to make a tag. Ref just let her tag in for whatever reason.
He's like, whatever, we got to go.
Yeah, whatever, we got to take this home. Fine, just go in there. And she walks in, boom, page turn. And then she starts blaming Naomi for the loss.
Yeah.
Which I liked all of that.
Yeah.
Outside of not really being able to make a tag. I liked all of that, and I liked the yawning and stuff. I don't know. It's funny how something so simple as putting on lip gloss can feel like a smart novelty of a move.
I did expect more of a reaction from the crowd from that. They didn't really react. I mean, as great as that crowd is, there wasn't really much of a reaction. That was like, oh, all right.
Well, it depends on if you saw it, too, I think. You're watching the action, not the person who's waiting for the action, so I feel like the camera grabbed it, but maybe not the crowd.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
But also, I don't know. I feel like this build-up... I like how tonight went. I wish it had happened 2 weeks ago or whatever when they just got weird for no real reason. I think that this kind of like... I don't want to tag in and being weird about it. I think this is a good way to go.
Well, I think Naomi wanted it 2 weeks ago because she looked pissed.
Yeah.
Like, she beat the crap out of Cameron.
They were... I don't know if they were pulling those punches or not. They looked pretty stiff and a lot of hair yanking.
Yeah, that's never fun. I mean, the refs have to end up separating them tonight. Cameron walks off.
Could barely separate them, actually.
Yeah.
Like I was ready for some extensions to be pulled. They were going at it.
They rolled right out of the ring. Funk was on a roll.
Literally
out the ring.
Literally on a roll.
It was. At least I liked the interaction. I just wish the storytelling was a little better for them.
How many Divas matches do you think there will be at Battleground? Because we
2.
We had 2 at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and we had 2 tonight. We've been having 2 pretty consistently for the past month, maybe.
Yeah. It's just now with like we're talking about like 4 different Diva storylines. Which ones are going to get kind of like the rub to be on the pay-per-view? Because to me, honestly, I feel like the Divas title does not need to be on the line at Battleground. They could have some segment, but then have your Cameron, Naomi, and another Summer Rae Leila thing. I don't know, that's my thought.
I wasn't. Yeah.
Well, then that's when you can kind of go with your thought as well.
I didn't really love that match they had at Money in the Bank, Leila and Summer Rae. It was kind of dialed in.
I agree, but at the same time, which clearly that's not done. So they gotta resolve it.
Maybe add a stipulation or something that ups the ante a little.
We shall
Don't make it a dance-off.
Oh,
that's all. I don't want to dance-off.
I think that they're past
Fandango on a pole
with
match.
the girls.
I hope so.
Yeah. The fact that they're giving them this much time, that would just detract from everything that they've been building the last few months. So
we'll see.
Cesaro versus Kofi Kingston. Let's talk about that. Heyman is in the ring, and he's talking about his client, Brock Lesnar. Then Cesaro says Heyman can't speak in English to these people because they don't speak English. He says they're French Canadians, so the French hate them, and Canadians hate them. And then Kofi comes out. The match begins. Really short match. I think only like a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. Kofi ends up getting the win.
Again.
What'd you guys think of this?
Loved it.
Okay.
I think Cesaro can handle a few losses. It's not going to affect anything for him. I like him getting upset. At least bring some more. I wish the patch had lasted longer. I thought maybe the patch would still be.
But like everyone's calling Sagat from Street Fighter, Sagat, however you pronounce
Oh yeah. I don't know. It looked pretty badass. I like a good patch. But anyways, I like Kofi being on a winning streak. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll last, but I like both of these guys in this particular feud. I think they're both looking good.
to me, it seems like they're just going to kind of have him lose a little bit and then suddenly win the Battle Royal, to me.
Is he Mr. Battle Royal? You know, you think that's what they're going to do?
They could kind of pull that off and, you know, have him win that Battle Royal, and then just like any Battle Royal he's in, he's clearly the favorite.
He would have to win the Royal Rumble.
Well, that's not a Battle Royal. It's different.
I know, but if you're going to call yourself
Dale.
that,
it's different.
Not that different, but yeah.
A little bit.
Thank you. That's why you should get slapped.
It is cooler. I like the Royal Rumble.
Well,
but
yes.
I don't know. I feel like he needs something. Cesaro was on fire right after WrestleMania. On fire. And then they just kind of like... And him at least getting angry gives him a little some kind of...
Who do you want to see him in a feud with next?
I ultimately want him and Brock Lesnar to feud.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen for a while. I
think it's a longer play.
Yeah.
Lesnar has to come back. He has to go for the title, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really enjoyed. It wasn't too long of a feud that he had with Sheamus. I thought the two of them wrestled great.
Oh yeah, they were good.
So I'm not opposed to them kind of rekindling that. Yeah.
But they're both in kind of a similar league where their in-ring fitness is amazing.
Yes.
But neither of them are that great on the character side right now. I think Cesaro needs to be with someone that can help build his character up, and Sheamus right now is not that person.
Yeah.
Well, who would it be then? Who do you think could build up Cesaro's character?
I don't know. I thought Wade Barrett would be good because he could insult him a lot, and so but now that's kind of the wayside. That's a good question. Maybe they're asking that same question.
Yeah. I mean, unless I would say unless they tried to build Cena and Cesaro, but you're probably going to be setting up Cena and Lesnar for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So
I think we may be spinning our wheels on Cesaro for a minute until they figure out where. But he has the time.
He has time, and he's got Heyman.
Yeah.
So he won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So. Next up, we have back in the locker room, Cena and Rollins. These two facing off later tonight. Rollins asks for a conversation, a civilized conversation between two adults. Cena ends up telling Rollins that he's full of crap after everything he says, and says Rollins is getting, his head is getting too big, essentially, after getting his Money in the Bank contract. Do you guys agree?
It's all part of being part of the the corporate stable.
Yeah.
Like, now I can have anything handed to me. Now I got a briefcase. He, no pun intended, he's got the whole world in his hands.
I love this for Rollins. I think it's allowing him to show a lot of his pizzazz, and because we already knew he was just a beast in the ring. So this is really giving him the room to show off this side of himself, and he's really owning it. Whereas I feel like Reigns, that is where Reigns might falter, is he needs to build this side. It looks like Rollins is already ready to go.
Yeah.
So.
No, Rollins can put on a great match with anyone right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's proved that.
Yeah.
For sure. El Torito versus Bo Dallas.
The classic. Instant
match.
classic.
So, this match, after they're on the mic for a little bit, Torito runs around the ring right after the bell rings, but Bo ends up winning with the running Bodog and the pin. Another super short match. After the match is when Bo does a victory lap around the ring and ends up just plowing straight into Torito. Doesn't even care, keeps on running.
That was the best part, really.
The Matadors just seem really awkward when only one of them is there.
Yeah.
Because the other one has another injury.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just seemed like, when Torito's supposed to, try to hop on him, and he's like, hold on, now I got to kind of scoop you under my shoulders here. It didn't seem as right. But Bo, this is just like, okay, we need somebody for Bo to beat right now easily. So, hey, Bull. Get in there. But to credit Bo, he pulled off the Bulldog on Torito.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to. He made the turn off the second rope instead of the top rope for this one.
I thought it looked weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a guy half the size of his opponent.
Right.
So, but he pulled it off and actually looked pretty good. So So props to Bo. And what are they going to do next with Torito? I mean,
don't know.
He should have been catapulted to main event after beating the Hornswoggle.
He catapults himself off the ropes.
There you go.
I don't know. I guess they just want to remind us about
that they're still there.
Yeah, that the Matadors are still.
Torito's going to be at a Battle Royal, isn't he?
He very well could be.
Oh God.
If Khali is in the Battle Royal, why not?
That's true. Khali is in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have a standoff with Khali and Torito.
Please.
Done. Make it happen.
I call that snack break, but whatever you want to call it.
I want to see him bounce off a rope onto Khali's shoulder.
He's going to bounce off like his stomach. He's not going to get that high.
Oh my gosh. That would be pretty cool.
But have El Torito get Khali out of the Battle Royal. That would be the only amazing thing that could happen of those two.
How?
Otherwise, I just don't care.
Yes. But speaking of injuries, like all these guys that we've talked about, Wade Barrett, one of the Matadores, someone who's not going to be there anymore, Santino, announced his retirement over the weekend.
And they did they talk about it?
They never mentioned him at all tonight, which really upset me. I was hoping, I wasn't expecting like the big type of send-off like they do with like the big superstars.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's not retired yet. I mean, like maybe they're...
Well, they'll
do something later.
Coming, or?
They just had the Vicky thing. Maybe they want to give it some room. I don't know.
Well, he mentioned when he kind of cut his farewell promo it was a live event in Toronto on Sunday, that he's still going to be around, maybe be a manager. He's like try to be a general manager, so he's not going to go away.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's done wrestling.
Yeah, and I don't know that they could address it right now, just because of the heat that Emma's getting from the incident.
Stealing the hearts of fans.
In a weird part of me thinks between the Emma incident and all the cuts and Santino's injury, I think part of him kind of knew the writings on the wall to a certain extent. So it's just like, I'm just going to kind of talk with them and be, all right, let's wrap it up as the in-ring competitor. But, people love my segments.
Yeah.
They love listening to me talk.
He is the go-to for any brand deal they get.
Yeah, where was the Twisted Tea tonight?
No Twisted Tea. No Rosebuds.
No. No. That's all right. My Rose Buddies
version 2.0.
Yeah.
The Rose Buddies were here. The Rose Buds took the night off. That's fine. The Exotic Express couldn't pass customs or something.
That's probably a thing.
Yeah. So let's talk about the main event tonight, Cena versus Rollins. This started off really great. Then Kane comes out mid-match. Orton behind Cena, ends up attacking Cena as he's distracted. Reigns then ends up coming out for Cena to help him. Rollins tries to cash in his contract again, but unsuccessful because Ambrose stops him. The bell never rang for the cash-in. Cena ends up getting the AA on Orton in the ring. Kane then takes a spear from Reigns. Cena and Reigns end up holding hands in the middle of the ring to show their unity. What'd you guys... I mean, this is long and definitely told a story.
Yeah.
It's definitely building up the main event. Because we got 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks already and another pay-per-view.
Crazy.
Or a special event. Is that what they call them now?
Gotta buy more chips.
Yeah. I know.
So many chips I gotta buy.
So many chips. So much.
Oh,
so
for
much
your
dip
party.
to make.
From my pay-per-view party, Cathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I overall, like to say, I mentioned this last week, I want Ambrose to stop Rollins for nearly the entire year that he has the briefcase.
Yeah.
I want this to happen every single time.
Yeah. I would like it. I mean, because there's always a chance that he might actually do it.
It might actually work.
Yeah, so I think that's a smart move.
It's a really good tease.
And I think Kane and Orton having a little bit of a feud-ish, at least going into this pay-per-view is a good idea, because maybe they'll have each other's back, maybe they'll implode, we're not sure.
And then where's Reigns and all this? Because he was like, I'll take out Cena, but then they, as you said, held hands in unity at the end of it.
Do y'all see Cena losing the title though? This quickly? Like, do you think Reigns has a Reigns has a chance?
No, not yet.
Seems a little.
They'll hold out a little bit.
I don't
Since
think
they have so many pay-per-views coming up too.
I don't think Reigns is going to win the title until it's a one-on-one title match. Because then there's much more of a spotlight on him.
That's true.
Not 8 guys in a ladder match, not 4 guys in a 4-way.
Yeah.
But I mean, It will definitely have some interesting twists and turns. My biggest thing is what's going to happen with Kane and Orton, to me, in that match.
I feel like we might get, if there is an implosion of those two, we might get Triple H coming out, getting involved in some manner, and screwing Reigns, setting up a SummerSlam Triple H Reigns match. Who knows?
Who knows?
We shall see. So that brings our after show to an end almost.
Almost. What else is there, Kathy? Oh, is that why the ring's coming off? Is that what's happening?
Actually, I wasn't thinking about that, but I probably should take off the rings.
Please take the rings off.
Dale, would you do the honors of announcing what is going on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. I'm just going to look in the camera right now. Quasto, this is for you, because I know you were in a lot more pain than I was last week because of your sunburn. And I was kind of the fill-in for you this week, and now I got to get slapped. So
that's why he asked you to fill in.
Because he knew he was going to get slapped.
Yeah.
His face is sunburned this week, and that's why he's not here.
Everyone has been asking for it, and so I think we should just get to it.
God.
You wanna?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been nice knowing you all.
Wow, this is going to be quite a slap.
I'm so excited.
Slap you out of existence, son.
Goody.
Okay.
So, yeah. We need to
And
make
this
sure
corner, we have Christian Rosenberg.
What?
I want to make sure we're facing the camera, right?
Which camera?
I don't know. Which camera should we face? This
Yeah,
one?
you got to do that one.
Okay. Okay. So are you going this way or this way?
Going left.
You're going with the left.
I'm a lefty.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This ought to be good. Are you
Ready?
getting the countdown?
Here comes, yep. All right, we got a countdown in 3, 2, 1. Slap! Oh, Lord Almighty!
I feel like I got scratched. I think there was a scratch that was more painful than the actual slap there.
I want to see that in slow-mo. That looks
I'm sure someone will create a little GIF or something of that slap in slow motion. Ow! like
Now
you
your
hit
face
part of
looks
my
sunburned.
ear.
You'll bleed out the ear like Chris Jericho.
Yeah. You got cut in the ear.
How you feeling?
The headphones hurt my ear. I mean,
Just do it like cool DJ style. Like,
I need some ice.
what's up, y'all? Hey.
Damn.
But now you can say that you've been slapped by Kath. You've experienced the wrath of Kath.
I've experienced the wrath of Kath.
The wrath of Kath.
I've been cupcaked. Or, no, that's not as good.
Doesn't sound scary.
No, not nearly as scary.
I'd like to be cupcaked. Do you make any cupcakes?
Well, why don't
Dale,
you
I
get
will
slapped?
cupcake you.
Yay!
How do we get beat up and he gets cupcakes?
Oh, no more time. Sorry.
So, guys, in the words of Johnny Loquasto, put yourselves over.
I am The Walking Dale on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me at youtube.com/dishingonmovies, making up some yummy recipes.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at CRosieVOC, and I'm all over the place this week. I'm filling for Tom on Main Event this Wednesday night, and then we got SmackDown on Friday night.
No one can beat that streak.
No.
Try to beat it.
Nailed it.
And then on Sunday, Alpha Omega Wrestling, a call to arms show for the military in Palm Desert, California. I'll be there.
Cool. You can find me on Twitter at Cathy Kelley. You can also check out the interview I just did with tvandfilmreview.com. That should be up later this week, and I will tweet it out.
Cool.
You can find all of us here at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us comments. We love knowing your thoughts. Leave Rosie some words of encouragement for his cheeks.
Leave us some ice packs.
Come on, get slappy.
Johnny will, of course, be back next week, and we will see you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.